All right, guys, so we got some breaking news out of the transfer portal via Pete Thamel, and shout out to my buddy Ian for the heads up on this on this type of announcement, guys. Is that we have on our hands, it is looking like, as I fix my jacket here, it is looking like Dillon Gabriel is going to be headed to Eugene, Oregon for a visit. And this is very, very telling. A senior quarterback, I believe he maybe has 1 year left of eligibility. And, I mean, it certainly is interesting that Oregon is in the market, for a quarterback. They've seen, Austin Novosad, and they have seen also Ty Thompson for a very long time. And really, Michael Van Buren was an Oregon commit, and Jeff Lebby maybe is saying to Michael Van Buren that Dillon Gabriel is leaning towards Oregon. And there's a lot of connections here. I mean, Dillon Gabriel, there's connections with Hawaii and all of the great players from the island of Hawaii that have come to Oregon and have produced at a really high level. Of course, Marcus Mariota being the most famous Oregon Duck, and Dillon Gabriel probably having a really good relationship with Marcus Mariota, and makes it really attractive. You also look at Will Stein as an offensive coordinator. You look at the continuity with Junior Adams and also with Drew Maringer. So the wide receivers that Oregon's going to trot out next year, I mean, you have Jerrion Dickey. I believe that Franklin and Tez Johnson are going to head to the draft. Gary Bryant might have 1 more year left of eligibility. Terrence Ferguson is still going to be on the roster, but Kyler Casper is still on the roster. Jerrion Dickey's probably going to be hopefully featured as a number 1 receiver on Oregon next year. And I love the incoming freshman class, and there's a ton of speed. And still, you have Bucky Irving. Jordan James was a guy that, as a sophomore, he really, really impressed this year as a young player. So Bucky Irving could still come back. This offensive line, if they add Jordan Seaton to the mix, Connolly is going to be an older player. So this offensive line still has chance to have some continuity and be really, really effective. So you got Ferguson, you got a ton of young receivers that are, vying for these spots at Oregon. And I just think it's a great situation for Dillon Gabriel. I think the system will fit him. He gets to go closer to home, and Oregon is really going to be competing for a championship. And for the Oregon Ducks, I think it's the right move because you get an accurate, proven quarterback out of the transfer portal in Dillon Gabriel that can really, collaborate with Will Stein and run offense. And I think that you can win at a super high level. I don't think the drop-off is going to be that big of a deal. So the quarterback of the future is still going to be determined. Maybe Will Stein has a great relationship with Austin Novosad. Next year, you also got Akili Smith's son that is going to be coming into the fold as a freshman, most likely in I guess next year. So, but overall, I'm totally in favor of the move because I don't know if I was sold on any of the quarterbacks on the roster. So I guess Ty Thompson will still have the uphill battle of having to compete with Dillon Gabriel, but odds are he's going to transfer out of Oregon because Dillon Gabriel's going to probably be making money to come to Oregon, and that's who Oregon's going to roll with. And I think it's the right decision. I really do, because Dillon Gabriel, can come from behind and win games. Very accurate passer. Has thrown for 3,700 yards. Puts up huge stats. But the guy has a big arm. He's very accurate, and when he's healthy, he can be devastatingly good. And this wide receiver class, like coming in, I know that you're losing Troy, but Tez was fantastic, and Tez was a Troy transfer. I'm sure that Oregon might even look to add like maybe even another transfer. But again, it's going to be probably Jerion Takey is going to, hopefully be featured at a high level. And also Kyler Casper, who came a year earlier, he's going to have a lot of responsibility next year. But this is a huge move. It also means that Dante Moore most likely may be headed out, east, back towards home. Or maybe Dante Moore also comes along as well. But really, it's going to be Dillon Gabriel, and then we'll see if they get a young, very highly touted, transfer quarterback. But very interesting. Dillon Gabriel and Oregon, the new rumor out there going on right now.